What's up? I'm Craig, and this is Blossom. Pro athletes can have a big ego, but having a big ego doesn't mean that you're going to be a pro. In the areas of psychology and peak performance, there are two types of goal orientations which contribute to skill performance and learning. These goal orientations are a mindset which you adopt around a goal achievement and skill. The first goal orientation is ego orientation, and a highly ego-oriented individual is going to place a lot of value on social comparison and competition, and above all else, winning, of course. Because of this, extremely ego-oriented individuals are going to seek out opportunities that are way too easy and that they can just win. Think of an NBA player versus a high school or middle school basketball player. This NBA player is seeking out playing with these middle schoolers who he knows he's just going to beat every time. On the other side of ego orientation, if a task is too difficult and they're already in it, they're going to just rage quit, or if they're not in it, they're going to avoid it completely. Now here's where they come up with a problem with ego orientation. Because an ego-oriented individual is going to avoid situations where they could lose or where they could fail, they're not going to learn from the failure that they would be getting. They're not going to be able to find things wrong with what they're doing. They're not going to be able to take feedback either. This is going to hinder their skill acquisition and ability to perform in higher level arenas. It creates an external locus of control around your failures and makes you believe that you can't fix anything or you can't get better in your situation. It's also really unhealthy for collaborative relationships and competitive relationships such as teammates or coworkers. On the other hand is task orientation. Now, a highly task-oriented individual is going to be very focused and preoccupied with the process and the little steps that they have to take along the way towards their end goal. So a highly task-oriented basketball player is going to be thinking about, how am I going to get open for this next pass? How am I going to get the ball back? How am I going to make my team in a better position? They're thinking of the small things right now versus the end goal. This leads the task-oriented person to become more focused on the process and learning. Because of this, somebody who's very task-oriented is going to look at challenges as goals, and failures they're going to think of in a more neutral or even in a positive light. They're going to think that a failure is just a learning opportunity. And the next time that they encounter that same situation, they'll be more able to handle it. The task-oriented person is less likely to give up, and they're less likely to avoid difficult tasks. This causes a higher amount of skill acquisition and learning. Now, you can be both ego and task-oriented, but having too high of an ego can really negatively affect your ability to learn and grow and make your life better. So kick your ego aside and learn to focus on the process rather than the results. Once again, I'm Craig, this is Blossom. Thanks for watching. You know what they say about those task-oriented people, right? What's that? A bunch of losers. Sports psychology joke.